A single dad rents a room to a college girl, not knowing she's a billionaire's daughter. But if he had known that the girl knocking on his small, paint-chipped door carried more secrets than luggage, or that her presence would expose wounds he'd spent years trying to bury, he might never have opened the door that day. And he would have missed the one person destined to change his life forever. The story begins with a storm that didn't just swallow the sky, but also Noah's last bit of hope. He had lost almost everything, his wife to illness, his job to layoffs, and his savings to medical bills. All he had left was his 8-year-old daughter Lily, their tiny 2-bedroom home, and a spare room he never intended to rent out. But bills didn't wait for grief to pass. So when he posted a listing for the room, he expected loud college boys, or anyone desperate enough to take the cramped space. He did not expect her. She arrived with rain dripping off her hair and a quietness that didn't match her age. Her name was Emily. She didn't bargain, didn't ask for special treatment, didn't even seem to care that the room was small or the house old. She smiled nervously and said she needed a quiet place to stay, somewhere safe, somewhere normal. Noah didn't question it. He was too tired to. He just handed her the keys, thinking she was another student escaping noisy dorms or messy roommates. What he didn't know was that Emily was escaping something entirely different. In the first few days, she blended quietly into the routine of the house. She cooked small meals, helped Lily with homework, and tiptoed around as if terrified of disturbing anyone. Noah noticed, of course. He noticed the way she flinched when phones rang, the way she carried herself like someone hiding from the world, the way she apologized even when she hadn't done anything. But he had learned the hard way that people came with their own storms. He didn't pry. He just made sure she felt welcome. One evening, the three of them sat at the small kitchen table, eating spaghetti, when Lily asked Emily why she didn't call her parents. Emily froze. Her fork dropped. The silence stretched long enough for Noah to reach over and gently change the topic. Emily's eyes filled with a sadness too old for someone her age, but she whispered a soft thank you and kept eating. After that, she spent more time with Lily, teaching her art, helping her with projects, even braiding her hair before school. Little by little, she became part of their tiny family. But the truth has a way of finding people. One afternoon, Noah came home early from a rough shift at a warehouse job he hated. He found 2 expensive black cars parked outside his home, cars he'd only seen on TV or in front of luxury hotels. His heart dropped. Inside the house stood 2 men in suits and Emily, her eyes red, her hands shaking. They were calling her Miss Davenport, speaking urgently about security, responsibility, and her father. Noah's world tilted. She was a billionaire's daughter. But more than that, she was a runaway billionaire's daughter whose strict, controlling father had been searching for her for weeks. The men left after arguing with her, but not before warning her that her father demanded her return. Emily collapsed onto the couch, sobbing in frustration. Noah sat beside her, stunned. She explained that she wasn't running from wealth, she was running from a life where every move was controlled, every decision made for her, every dream dismissed unless it aligned with her father's empire. Noah didn't know what to say. He had spent his life trying to give Lily the freedom to become anything she wanted. Emily had spent her life trying to escape a cage made of gold. 2 different worlds. 2 different prisons. That night, when Lily found Emily crying, she hugged her tightly and whispered, "Stay. We like you here." Emily cried even harder. And Noah realized that despite everything, she wasn't just a tenant anymore. She mattered to them. They mattered to her. As days passed, Emily's father escalated the search. The media gained hints. Rumors spread. And Noah's quiet home became a ticking clock. Emily didn't want to leave. Noah didn't want to lose her. But he couldn't fight a billionaire. Neither could she. The breaking point came on a cold morning when Emily received a letter slipped under the door. Not from lawyers. Not from guards. From her father himself. It said 3 simple things: come home. I'm not trying to control you. I'm trying to keep you safe. I thought money would protect you, but I see now that maybe I'm the one who didn't know how to love you right. Emily didn't believe him. Not at first. But Noah did something she didn't expect. He told her to face him. Not for the money, not for the name, but for closure. Running might feel like freedom, he said softly, but healing only begins when you stop running long enough to understand what you're running from. She didn't want to go alone. She asked him to come with her, just for support. And he agreed. When they arrived at her father's mansion, Emily saw something she'd never seen in him before: genuine fear of losing her. He wasn't the monster she thought. Just a flawed man trapped in his own mistakes. He apologized, truly apologized, and promised to let her live the life she wanted. Go to college. Make her own choices. Build her own future. But he had one more shock for both her and Noah. He thanked Noah. He thanked him for giving his daughter something money never could: family, warmth, belonging, and the chance to breathe without judgment. Emily returned to college, choosing a small apartment nearby. Not because she had to. Because she wanted to. She visited Noah and Lily almost every day. They celebrated holidays together, shared meals, and grew into a family bound not by blood, but by the moments that healed all of them. Years later, Emily became something she had always dreamed of but never believed she could be: an artist. Her first major art piece? A painting titled "The Home That Saved Me." It featured a tiny house, a single dad, a little girl, and a girl standing in the doorway with rain in her hair, finally smiling. The message of their story was clear. Sometimes fate doesn't bring people together because they're broken. It brings them together so they can rebuild one another.